Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hello, children. Cappy asshole here. Uncle Cappy. Hey, asshole, I'm a 24-year-old CEO son living in a place. Not that many CEO sons. We gotta keep you anonymous. I've lived in apartments previously with friends, and once my ex-girlfriend, whose abuse and demands I could no longer stand, after an admittedly obscene 18-month fiasco of a relationship, the details of which were 100% my fault, as I broke up with her about 50 times and got back with her during this time. Yeah, you know what? I'll forgive you on that. Every guy goes through that because that's your first experience where you get a real girlfriend and she's a psycho kuanta ha ha ha. If you don't know what that means, you ought to tune into the Older Brother podcast. And you think, I've said it before, I'll explain it again so maybe you guys can avoid the pain and agony, and this unto itself makes this video worth it. You're going to think, oh, I must have done something wrong, because that's the most logical conclusion. She wouldn't be acting like a psycho crazy kuanta ha 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 if I hadn't done something egregious. I must reflect upon my own actions. And no, she is indeed a bipolar bulimic kuanta ha ha ha. Rhymes with itch. But you got to battle through that to realize, oh no, there are crazy women like that. And not only that, there's more than you think. So you can forgive yourself for that one. I have always had a rocky relationship with my father, who I assume was the worst person alive despite his money, thanks to being brainwashed by my mother's side of the family and their overly Christian blue-collar ideas about money and life. I just broke up with my girlfriend 2 months ago for good and haven't contacted the parasite since. I'm recovering from this awful mistake somewhat poorly. I don't know if you're recovering. How do you know you're recovering poorly? It sucks, man. There's a recovery period, especially if you're a rookie, and you are. You're like 21. What are you, young? So it's 22, 23. It's going to take a bit. Plus, she was part of your existence for quite some time there. As I am patting myself on the back far too greatly for getting a second job at a place. I don't see what's wrong with you getting a second job. That's good. Making $12.50 an hour. I work 60 hours a week. I work 15 hours a week at another place delivering for the evenings. That being said, with both jobs combined, I'm going to make about $60,000 a year gross. Oh, that's great. I plan on just staying with my delusional mother for a year or two and buying a house with cash, as real estate in this area is ridiculously affordable. Yes, I've been to that area, and there's a reason it's ridiculously affordable, because it's cold, it's high tax, and there ain't nothing going on in that town. I've been depressed about my failure to learn any engineering or financial skills from my father or grandfather on his side, who started a company and used to build his own things. It single-handedly revolutionized the industry by inventing another thing in the 1980s. It passed the company on to my father. It exists as this entity today. I have this big shoes to fill, depression and self-loathing for my entire life. It never got any better. Well, you should continue to hate yourself instead of try. That's the answer. You should continue to go down this path and hate yourself and not try. My dad is also coming around and is sorry for how he treated me. Well, your dad's... This is just the old captain here. It sounds like good men create easy times create bad men create bad times, sort of thing. It's your grandfather's the one that made the money. Your dad pissed it away. Your dad sounds like a spoiled little cunt. I could be wrong. He could be... I'm very great, but it sounds baby boomer-ish. Sounds like he's a baby boomer. Or Gen X, it really wouldn't matter. They're crappy parents. It just sounds like he had too much money and didn't bother raising you in this limited amount of information you gave me. And now he's coming around. They come around, oh shit, my kids they took time in me. I should have invested time in them. I just, and then the wife spits it out, then she divorced me and I go away. Isn't that how it works? Said every parent from the baby boomers on ever. Oh my God, what are the millennial parents going to be like? Holy shit. Disappointed so far. And I in turn am sorry for how deeply I've disappointed him thus far in my so-called life. My question now is, Do I stay at my mom's for a year or two and save my own money slaving? My parents sound divorced. Slaving away, working 2 loser jobs, or do I simply bite the bullet, swallow my pride, and break down and ask my father for 1 of 3 things? An inexpensive house. No, you're a pussy now. Investment money. Oh, dude, bro, you gonna start a business, man? Like, to avoid real work that you're doing now, because that might make you a man. We wouldn't want that. Investment money, $50,000 to $100,000 to start any variety of small business ideas. Moving business, 24-hour pizza delivery. Dude, bro, it's never happened before. See, just work as a salesman for the company and ask for no special treatment and make around $70,000 to $100,000 a year. Oh, that's special treatment, pal. This has been hell on my mind. Okay, you sound like you're also spoiled. Sounds like a little bit of the money also came down. This has been hell on my mind. I'm developing bipolar tendencies. No. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You choose to. If you can identify it, you can choose not to. Won't give you want therapy? Go hire a professional. Go hire some 23-year-old Kwanta who has equally fucked up background as you do, but she has a master's degree in therapy, and she tells you your feelings and your touchy feels. We don't do that here. As a result, this deserves self-hatred for being a real example of a prodigal son and a dipshit mama's boy class. A failure. I want to make this call every day, but the awkwardness of it, given the circumstance I basically am, right, except I created myself for myself, is almost too much for me. Let me know what you think, because I can't anymore. All right. You're on the right path. And that... You want to become a man. It's basically what you want to know how to become a man. You become a man by suffering, by being forged into one, by going through the furnaces of hell, so that you got to think of yourself as raw iron, raw, paltry, pathetic iron ore, just a low-grade ore. And you either forge yourself into a fine sword at the end of this process, or you sit there being a lump of iron. Now, as you proceed from raw, low-grade, crappy iron ore, which is what every guy starts out as, you go through life, and it depends, what are you going to add? What processes are you going to put this iron ore through? Are you going to put it into the hottest furnaces of hell to get rid of all the impurities, to make it malleable, to make it forgeable, so that you have a very, very good quality iron to work with? Are you also going to add, we could analogize this to be like education, do you add, what is it do you add to iron? Is it tin? You add some of the iron to make it steel. What other education, what other skills, talents, other metals do you add to the iron while it's molten to make it an even stronger steel, an even stronger alloy that is high grade and valuable? And then what are you going to forge it into? Are you what kind of sword are you going to make? What are you going to turn this into? A broadsword, sharp sword? Are you going to sharpen it? What are you going to do? Right? Now, no matter what you end up becoming in the end, this process is murder in hell. Because you're going to be broken down. It's like the military. They break you down so they can build you back up. You're going to get rid of all your impurities. This faggoting, I'm such a bad. Knock that shit off right the fuck now. Oh my God. Do people fucking hate that shit? Knock that fucking self-loathing shit off. So that's wiped out. But, like I said, you're already kind of on the way. Hard work. Hard work, this is why we do the Clarity test. Do they have any real-world working experience? Hard work is it's the first step. It gets rid of all the impurities. It puts your face right into the ground, right into the gravel and of reality, of the real world. So you know exactly what you got to do. And then now you're supporting yourself, that you're already purging yourself of this. Then what do you want to do going forward? Now, like a pussy, should I call my father? Father, could I have some more money, please? I don't want special treatment. I just want a 6-figure sales job, Father. Which is sad, because you are on the path to becoming a real man, working 70 to 80 hours a week, forging yourself, making your own good money. You make $60,000 a year in that crappy town. You can easily afford to move out of your parents' place. You can have independence, which again is an achievement of a real man, and is more than what 24-year-old kids do nowadays. So you could go through this process, but you seem to be hung up on this Oh, I gotta prove it to my dad bullshit, and comparing yourself to your your grandfather, who obviously had the engineering skills and all that as well, could be a genius, probably was, and it's hard to match. Don't compare yourself to those guys. Knock this fucking self-loathing shit off. You're not going to achieve that, nor should you. Go set off your own fucking path in life. Oh, you could be a third-generation nepotist. Oh, my great-great... What's your kid supposed to do? Oh, he's going to inherit it from you, and they're going to inherit it. Have you seen? Look at Mark Dayton. Look at the Dayton family. If you don't know who they are, look them up. The great-great-grandfather, well, it depends on how many kids they have now. The real man, the one with the penis, started Target Corporation and what was then Dayton's department stores. Now, our governor is Mark Dayton, which I think is his grandson, a worthless, pathetic, ballless man. Majored in psychology, was a teacher for a year and a half, then came back, Daddy, and his sons are also, and they all just trust fund babies. They're pussies. They're fucking pussies. They are not real men. They didn't forge. They just had it to them. And you could kind of see it in Dayton. He's like, on drugs, alcoholic, fucking Christ. Just a fucking mess. Do you want your children? Do you want to be like that? That's what happens when you get your fucking daddy's money. You're a pussy. You're a fucking weakling. You're not a real man. So you working this much, it doesn't matter how low grade the jobs are, is more of a man than the entire Dayton saga, probably your dad. It sounds like your grandfather started, your dad probably just inherited it and didn't do fuck all. In that regard, you're more of a man than your father. So I encourage you to keep going down this path, and then, what education do you have? None. I'm not saying you have to go to college, but what about becoming a tradesman? What about becoming a programmer? What about joining the military? That is then what type of sword do I become? Because right now you're still in the processes and the forging and getting all your impurities knocked out. Then the education, what do you want to become? Okay, well, what kind of alloy are we going to make you into? And then that will also then do what quality alloy. Are you going to study hard? Are you going to master your trade or your subject? So that when you come out of this furnace, this assembly line, now you have this really sharp sword. And this is you. You are completely defined. You're not determined by your dad. You're not determined by your grandfather's money. It's completely independent. My buddy Khan, his old man was rich, and Khan went his own way. He did his own thing. And thank God, because Khan is one of the coolest people I know. He's a unique, brilliant artist and architect. And he's just an interesting man. That's why he's my best friend. But he shunned the father money. He went through his own galvanizing process. And that's what I think you should continue to do. So I don't want to hear any more of this fucking woe is me bullshit. Knock that fucking shit off. I don't solve those problems. That's what women with worthless degrees go solve. Or men with worthless degrees go solve. You go talk to people who think, I think Freud says you want to fuck your mother. Okay, you go deal with that. Okay, that's their domain. That's the bipolars and the depressions and the ahud-dahud-dahus. That's them. Here, we make men. Period. Basically. That's all the red pill community. We make men. So take that shit, don't even fucking bring it to my office, right? And now let's focus on what's under your control. So I say, forget what your father does, forget what your mom... I wouldn't buy property, by the way. And he said, oh, should I buy property? No. You need to read Reconnaissance Man. That's the first thing you're going to do after this. You're going to read Reconnaissance Man. Get it on audiobook so when you're doing delivery, you can listen to it and you don't have to read. And then you're going to take some time to wander in the desert and figure out what you want to do with your life. And there's nothing wrong with taking time. And hell, keep on working, man. You're making $60,000 a year. That's great. That's great. I'd say maybe you get yourself a cheap apartment, go live on your own. No reason to live with your mom. I don't know what the psychology is with your mother there, but you make enough, you don't need to live at home with your mother. You can find a cheap place. And then you know what? While you're driving around delivering whatever it is you deliver, forget your parents, forget your dad, forget the company that your grandfather founded. What do you want to do? And keep in mind, it has to be based and anchored in the real world. I want to be a teacher. No. Worthless people over there. The worthless people department is over there. You got your engineering, your military, your accounting, your trades, digital marketing, Seth Himes, programming, you know the rules. If you don't, go pick up the book Worthless. But yeah, but you're going to inevitably need a goal. Because while this is fine, you could do this for years. Nothing wrong with making 60 grand a year with hustle, pure raw hustle. But inevitably, if you want to become something more than merely a laborman, which is what you are, you're going to have a career or an education. I'm also advocating that you're not in a rush to choose that. There is no rush, because you're doing damn well right now, man. You're doing real good, okay? Keep it up. And then I think 5 years from now, after you have your own place, you got your own car, you have no debt, you start to really, you're especially at the point now where your friends fake it and all their parents' money they gave them goes away. And all of a sudden then you realize how fucked they really are. That happened when I was in my mid-20s. That was great. Loosen up, Cleary. I'm like, hey, come on, loosen up. Let's go to Vegas. Bippity boppity boppity boo. Not even a slight bit Italian. Yeah, just you're going to start to see soon how further ahead you are under your own steam, busting your own ass, and that you don't need your fucking parents. But, oh yeah, too bad if life is tough. Don't you dare make that fucking call. Don't you dare make that call lining up to suck your dad's dick. You don't fucking do that. Because if you do, then you're not you. You're never going to become you. You'll just be whoever. You'll just be another Dayton. That's what you'll be. You'll become Mark Dayton version 5.0. Whatever generation they're on now. And you will not do anything notable. You will not be anything unique. And your life will be boring. So go forge your own fucking path. I mean, certainly if your dad, like, you go become an engineer and then your dad wants you to work for the company as an engineer, all right, that's cool. Or you go into accounting and wants you to be a CPA, all right, that's fine. But you all this time and effort you've spent working, don't let that, that's an investment. Don't piss that away. Capitalize on it, finish what you started, and go become your own man. So you don't need your dad, you don't care what your dad does or not. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. All you boys and you girls, but girls don't like the truth, so, well, you know. Oprah's down the road. Remember the worthless people in the psychology majors? Yeah, Oprah's over there with them ladies, yeah. But if you want the truth, you actually want production and success and happiness, contact your older brother at assholeconsulting.com. If not, read some books. Links are all down below. And it'd be worth a little bit of time and money to do so. Trust you me. All right, that's it. Toodles.